Hello everybody and welcome back to another video here on the one and only Tribal Warrior YouTube channel. And of course I am the Tribal Warrior, and in today's video, as you see by the thumbnail and as you see by the title, we will be taking a look at my WrestleMania 42 Night 1 review. So of course, in other words, my April 18th, my Saturday WrestleMania 42 review. So, of course, at the time of recording today's video, it is Monday, the 20th of April. So, of course, WrestleMania was on April 18th and on April 19th. Two spectacular nights of wrestling, two of the biggest wrestling nights in the year, of course, each and every year, live from Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas, Nevada. So of course it was two excellent nights. We're going to dive into a bit more on my thoughts and opinions later in today's video. We're going to go through each match from kind of start to finish. We're not going to bang on talk about every single moment in the match, but we're kind of like summarize it like I do in my other review videos. We're going to talk about a couple of the segments as well. We're also going to take a look at my ratings of the actual show, your guys' ratings, and even SantiZap opinion. So of course, if you are a wrestling fan, you probably watch a lot of wrestling creators on YouTube, on social media. There is a lot of wrestling creators. Top of my head, you can think of some like Wheezy Blonde, Conman, Wrestling Days, and of course SantiZap, who we will hear from later in today's video, because of course he agreed with an opinion I had. I posted an opinion and he did agree with me, so we'll dive into him a bit later in today's video. We'll take a look at a little video from him, and of course huge credits to him. So of course, as you see by the thumbnail and title, this is my night one review. So in the video after this, my next video will be my night two review. So of course there's been a lot of videos coming from me the past few weeks, so I'm going to take a little break just for a little week. I'm not going to post this right away. I'm going to post this near the end of the week, maybe Thursday, maybe even Saturday. Most likely this video will come out. So with that being said, enough waffling from me. Let's actually go through this show from start to finish, obviously in order of what happened. So we're gonna kick off today's video. Sorry, I'm stuttering. We're gonna kick off today's video by talking about the opening match of WrestleMania 42. So of course, the opening match was kind of, you could say, a fun match. It was a 6-man tag team match. It was the Usos, of course, Jimmy and Jay, teaming up with LA Knight, going up against the tag team champions, the world tag team champions, Austin Theory and Logan Paul from the Vision, and social media sensation IShowSpeed. So they kicked off WrestleMania 42 Night 1. However, it kind of failed to deliver the kind of explosive start fans expected from the biggest show of the year. From the opening bell to finish, the match felt kind of, in a way, flat and lacked urgency, with very few standout spots or memorable sequences, obviously, until we got to the end of the match. While it wasn't outright bad, like it wasn't horrible in terms of execution, it never rose above being average, and the crowd energy kind of reflected that a little bit, and many viewers expected viral moments and high risk moves. And of course, obviously I do remember what happened after the match, but I was expecting more throughout the match, and it kind of came across as another just standard Raw SmackDown TV level tag team match placed in the biggest opening slot possible. Some people were saying this is the worst opening match in WrestleMania history, the worst opener in WrestleMania history, and it's definitely up there. I don't think this match was horrible. I don't think this match is even in there for worst match of the year. I just think that we could have got more. Of course, IShowSpeed, he's this big social media sensation, and they're kind of hyping him up to be cool, and of course he was cool. Like it was definitely a great match, but obviously it was really short, this match, and this was the beginning of the end basically of the WrestleMania 42 matches, because of course if we had to summarize WrestleMania 42 in one word, we would definitely say short, because the matches were extremely short, and I just thought this would be a one-off thing, but no, the rest of the matches were quite short, and we'll talk about that again later on. But look, it wasn't even horrible. The most talked about part of the match didn't even happen during the match itself. After the loss, because Logan Paul, IShowSpeed, and Austin Theory ultimately lost the match. But after the loss, Logan Paul, he lashed out at IShowSpeed, blaming him for the defeat and attacking him in frustration. That eventually brought the Usos and LA Knight back into the ring, where they turned the tables and set Logan Paul on the announce table, obviously coming to the aid of IShowSpeed. Speed then climbed to the top rope, just over the top rope. You know, there's a little like steel kind of circle just after the top rope, kind of that cylinder LED board. He went onto that, the LED kind of cylindery screen. I don't know what to call it, but he got onto that, and he delivered a massive frog splash, crashing Logan Paul through the announce table in a chaotic, memorable moment. Ironically, this post-match segment completely kind of overshadowed the match and became the real opening highlight of the night. So it was a good match. I did predict for this to happen in my predictions video, not the whole through the table moment, but I did do a predictions video for night 1 and night 2, and I did predict for the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, and LA Knight to pick up the win, so I was correct. So yeah, not much to add on to this. It was a good match, quite entertaining. Did expect a bit more, but look, I'm not hating. Let's go on to the second match of the night. So up next was an unsanctioned match between Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Warrior, and the Samoan Werewolf, Jacob Fatu. So of course, Jacob Fatu versus Drew McIntyre was presented as an unsanctioned match, meaning the WWE held no responsibility for the violence that this match would unfold. The match leaned in heavily into weapons and physical punishment, with both men delivering hard-hitting offense and using the stipulation to its fullest in terms of brutality. Of course, they did go like max with toolboxes and kind of a couple of big moments, nothing crazy. But I don't think they did use it to its fullest, because yeah, they kind of did with doing a lot of stuff they could have by really hurting each other, but in some terms, other stipulations, or sorry, no, other stipulations like a street fight or just a no rules match could even go more insane than an unsanctioned match. And in my opinion, I think an unsanctioned match should go like insanely insane. Like if the WWE isn't responsible for anything, and if they aren't in charge of this match, these two should like beat the crap out of each other until there's no room left like for them to get back up, essentially, is what I'm trying to say here. And until there should have been lots of blood is what I was expecting as well, but we didn't get that. And that was two opening things for me, in my opinion, that not upset me, but put my expectations level a bit lower down for the rest of the card. For night 1, of course, the big IShowSpeed thing, it wasn't as crazy, and then again, this match, it wasn't as unsanctioned is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, I did expect a bit more once again. I'm not trying to be a greedy person by saying no, I want more, but I think a lot of people could go and agree with me in what I'm saying, and I expected more, not just from this match, but every single match throughout the entire WrestleMania 42 weekend. But of course, there were some moments that had that drew a couple of great reactions, especially when weapons were introduced and the intensity level was, certainly higher than a standard match. But the last time I saw an unsanctioned match in the WWE was last February, or it was early March, at the Elimination Chamber 2025 Premium Live event, and it was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens in Canada. I'm pretty sure the PLE was in Toronto, and it was Canadian versus Canadian, and it was literally my 2025 match of the year. It was that good. So that was an unsanctioned match, and it was nothing compared to Drew McIntyre and Jacob Fatu. Sami versus Kevin was way better than Drew versus Jacob. So I wouldn't see this as a unsanctioned match. I would just see this as a little simple no rules match. And just like the first match, this match was quite short. Again, I think this ran a bit longer than the first opening match. I don't think I have the exact times, but if you do give me a minute, I'm gonna pause the recording. I'll be back in 1 second, but I'm just going to check the times in this match. I'm gonna pull them up real quick. So yeah, I'm back now. I just pulled up the match times for the entirety of night one. I'll talk about the other match times once we get to that match. But for the first opening match, the IShowSpeed 6-man tag team match, it was 7 minutes long, which was quite disappointing. Then of course Jacob and Drew did go longer than that. They went 14 minutes. Minutes, that's not a word, minutes. And that's not that bad. A normal average match would be around that. I would expect a WrestleMania quality match though to be longer, and this was like one of the longest matches throughout the entire WrestleMania 42 weekend. It's like up there for a long duration of a match, and that's 14 minutes. So speaking of that, like if it's really up there for a long match throughout the entire WrestleMania weekend, then we've got a problem because it's WrestleMania and you cannot have 14-minute matches. I would at least be aiming for 18-minute matches, maybe even 16-minute matches. And I know 14 and 16, it isn't that big of a difference, but when you're going with 7 minutes for your opening WrestleMania match to try draw fans in from ESPN and all over the world, you're not really trying to have a good representation. Sorry, that was the word I was looking for. I went a bit blank there, but yeah, you know what I mean. Matches were quite short throughout the entire WrestleMania weekend, but I don't know. This match, it felt like, despite it felt more of like a regular no disqualification match, like I mentioned, rather than something chaotic and unpredictable. But when compared to the previous year's standout unsanctioned clash, like I mentioned, between Sami and Kevin, this one lacked emotional depth and true shocking moments. Although it was a solid enough match, but far from the show stealer it really could have been, and I'm pretty sure you could have fit loads more in there, especially in the 14 minutes. You could have got way more moments, and you could have brawled into the arena. You could have brawled backstage. You could have went anywhere, just like Kevin and Sami did last year. But I don't know. I'm not going to waffle about each match here for 6 minutes. And also, actually, by the way, did you know me talking about this match here has almost gone longer than the opening match in WrestleMania 42. So, me talking about Drew versus Jacob has almost gone longer than the opener match for WrestleMania 42. So, crazy things here. But let's move on to the next match, which brought a bit of joy to our faces. So the third match of the night came in a fatal four-way match, or I should say a WWE Women's Tag Team Championship fatal four-way match. But of course, the tag titles were on the line as the match saw the champions Lash Legend and Nia Jax defend against a stacked field including Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair, Bayley and Lara Valkyria, and of course Nikki and Brie, the Bella Twins. Of course, before the match even begun, Nikki Bella revealed she was not medically cleared to compete, immediately creating intrigue around how the situation would have been handled. The announcement shifted attention away from the match itself and towards the mystery of who would step in. That mystery was answered when Paige made her long-awaited WWE return, teaming with Brie Bella in a moment that drew a massive reaction. So of course, Paige has returned to the WWE. So happy to see her back. I think it was like 8 years since we last saw her because she left the WWE or something or whatever, and then she went to AEW. And yeah, basically we haven't saw her in a long time. She's like a diva, and for those who've only started to watch wrestling, you're gonna enjoy it soon because Paige was monumental, and I say she still is. I don't watch AEW, so I didn't see her work there, but she definitely will have some standout moments, and WrestleMania was a standout moment for her as well. Not just the return, but even what happened at the end of the match, in who won the match, obviously herself. But of course, while the return had unfortunately been leaked online beforehand, it still felt significant and nostalgic. So, of course, I'll talk about the spoiler now in a minute, but before WrestleMania 42, this was spoiled. It was came out in some leaked information that Paige would return to the WWE to team up with Brie Bella to replace Nikki Bella because she wasn't fully 100% or medically cleared. So yeah, that's another unfortunate thing as well. And in my opinion, I'm so strong about this here. If they didn't spoil it, this return would have been monumental, a way bigger pop than it was. This would have been return of the year, but unfortunately, it was not. Of course, she still got a pop, like it's Paige we're talking about. Yes, she got a pop, but it would have been way bigger if, you know, it didn't get spoiled. And when Nikki announced she was injured, I knew straight away, oh yeah, it's definitely Paige. And then her music hit, and yeah, I got a smile on my face. I was happy, but I wasn't jumping up and down like crazy. But if it wasn't spoiled, yes, I would have been jumping up and down like crazy because it's Paige we're talking about. And yes, I'm happy she's back. And yeah, I had that buzz, I had that excitement, but I would have had it way more. My buzz was at like 50, 60, maybe just a bit higher than 60%, but if it wasn't spoiled, it would have been up there. It would have been 100% buzz. And I think that goes for a lot of people as well. We are living in a world that has no WWE surprises anymore. But look, the match itself was energetic, but largely overshadowed by the return of Paige, and the story concluded with Paige and Brie Bella capturing the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, closing out one of the most talked about segments of the night. So this match was okay, but it was another short match. This was 9 minutes long. But I wasn't that mad about the timing because, of course, we got the return of Paige. But yeah, it's another disappointing time. So 8 minutes. So of course 14 minutes, 7 minutes, and 9 minutes was the current 3 match times. Combined, I think it would have been just over 30 minutes. So I don't know. I think we could have went way over 30 minutes. 3 matches combined, way over it, but we just clocked in 30 minutes for the 3 matches, just over 30 minutes for the 3 matches together. But of course, SantiZap, he is a wrestling creator, a wrestling influencer. He talks about his opinions and he talks about other people's opinions. And he posted something on Twitter, now known as X, after night one. And he was like, what was your night one review? Let me know some of your guys' thoughts. And I put in a thought I felt strong about. And the thought I'm talking about now, about this spoiler ruining her return. And I sent him in that opinion, that review I had, and he reacted it in his YouTube video. So it's out there on YouTube now for you to check it out on his channel. But let's actually play the clip now of SantiZap talking about the Tribal Warrior.
Paige's WWE return was ruined. The spoilers ruined it. If it wasn't spoiled, it would have been monumental. The reaction would be way louder. The only reason they've done this is for ticket sales. Again, we don't get genuine surprises anymore, but at least she's back. By the way, I'm almost certain that WWE leaked this. How else would this have broken out? And I do think it was to get some last-minute ticket sales on night one, which was like struggling, crawling to get past the 50,000 1,000 mark, to the point where they even had to use Bianca Belair's pregnancy to add one more number to the population in attendance. But yeah, I do think that this ruined the moment, because this did leak. This was all over the place. I mean, I made a video about it as well. Everybody knew. Michael Cole on commentary says, I don't think anybody knew that Paige was going to be here. Meanwhile, they pan to like 50 welcome home Paige signs because everybody freaking knew. We are...
So yeah, of course, thank you SantiZap so much. There is his YouTube channel there if you don't know much about him. But I say you do 455k subscribers. You are one lucky man. I'm 335 subscribers, like just 100, not even in the thousands. But I am grateful to all 335 of you guys, or sorry, 335, I'm pretty sure, something like that. But yeah, grateful. Hopefully we can get that goal up a bit more, to get maybe even 500 by the end of the next few months. 500 maybe by SummerSlam would be a great goal. So if you're watching this, put this out on social media, tag me, and get people to subscribe, because I would love more people to join and share their opinions, like I did with SantiZap. Like I shared my opinion with SantiZap. But of course, SantiZap, Mr. SantiZap, thank you so much. Full credits go to you for including me in that YouTube video. I hope you're okay with me including this clip in my review video today. But yeah, SantiZap, thank you so much. Everyone, please go subscribe to SantiZap on YouTube and follow him on social media as well. But now, let's move on to the next match, which was another short match. So, AJ Lee defended the Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch, in a match that struggled to leave a lasting impression. It was notably short, like every other match at WrestleMania, and lacked the pacing or intensity needed to feel like a WrestleMania caliber contest. The crowd never fully got invested into the match, and the action inside the ring didn't provide enough drama and or near falls to elevate the stakes. And in my opinion, I think we should have got stipulation for this match. I talked about this in my predictions video. These two have been feuding for so long, and this is the final match in their feud. So if it is the final match in their feud, it should have a big stipulation to, like, yes, this is the final showdown. But I don't know. I'm happy we just got an entertaining-ish match, but something entertaining in the match. One of the biggest talking points in the match came not from the competitors, but the referee Jessica Carr. After Becky put her hands on her, Jessica Carr stood up for herself. She stood her ground and pushed back, creating a rare and memorable referee moment. And even the referee just pushing Becky, I just like to see it, because of course referees always get knocked down. They also always get pushed around and kind of, I don't want to say the word, but it's kind of, the B word. They get dogged around, or you know what I mean. They get like babied basically, and they're like, oh, you're the referee, we don't care about you. But I liked how the referee actually fought back for once and pushed Becky, and then Becky, she had the shocked face on her, look like, wait, what, you can't do that. But of course, she's the referee, she can do what she wants. So yeah, great work from Jessica Carr, great seeing that. But of course, the match ended up when AJ Lee was sent into the exposed turnbuckle, allowing Becky Lynch to capitalize and secure the victory, becoming the first ever 3-time Intercontinental champion in the process. So yes, congratulations to Becky Lynch on becoming the new WWE Women's Intercontinental Champion. It was a good match. It was another short match. This was shorter than the tag team match, and this clocked in at 8 minutes. An 8-minute match at WrestleMania is shocking. And believe it or not, it's not even our shortest match on this show. The shortest match was the opening match, 7 minutes. So the first match, 7 minutes. The next one, 14. The next one, 9. And of course, this one, 8 minutes. So shocking 8-minute clock in. But yeah, that's all I got for this match. Let's move on to the next one, which was actually a pretty entertaining clash. So this match actually went a bit longer than all the other ones. This was the second longest match of the entire show for night one. Seth Rollins versus Gunther. Literally not really any build, just we don't know what to do with Seth Rollins at WrestleMania. We don't know what to do with Gunther at WrestleMania. Let's put them together and let's put them in a WrestleMania match, and that's what we got, and it executed brilliantly. Seth Rollins versus Gunther delivered what many consider the best pure wrestling match of the night. The early portions were slowed, focusing on technical exchanges and hard hitting strikes, which immediately hooked everyone. It paid off as the match progressed into a more intense, faster, and dramatic closing stretch. Just as the match reached is what you could call peak chaos, struck chaos took place when Braun Breaker made a shocking return. Yes, Braun Breaker, and speared Seth Rollins out of nowhere. And of course, you can imagine this. It's Braun Breaker we're talking about, so he has a devastating spear, and he completely shifted the outcome. Gunther capitalized on the interference to pick up the win, but the bigger story became Breaker's return and impact. He wasn't finished there either, as he later ran back the 85-foot yard, I'm pretty sure, of a ramp. He ran down the big Mania ramp to deliver another super spear, cementing his presence in a major way. And this match was really good. It was definitely up there for match of the night. Really loved this match. This match was, like I mentioned, the second longest match of night one, clocking in at 15 minutes. So not to complain there. I'm happy with 15 minutes, not to hate on. And that's all I got for this match, because this match was quite good, really good. We'll talk about this more towards the end of the video. But yeah, excellent match. So, the WWE Women's World Heavyweight Championship was on the line. La Primera, Stephanie Vaquer, defended against Liv Morgan. Of course, Liv Morgan made her entrance with her brand new theme song, Trouble, before challenging for the world title. And let me tell you something here. You do not know, I was singing this song throughout the entire match, throughout the entire show, after the show, before the show, everything in the middle during the post show. Did you see the post show? Did you see Corey Graves dancing? I died laughing. It was hilarious. But Trouble, Trouble, that's me. Cherry Lips. Yeah, I'm not gonna go sing the whole song, but I know pretty much all the lyrics off by heart. It's a catchy song. So great song. She had a little kind of a dance routine, you could say, with her what would you call them, crew, that dance backup dancers, I don't know, but she had like a little special entrance and it was cool. I loved her theme song. But yeah, the match itself, it was quite solid, but didn't quite reach the level of standout WrestleMania performance it could have had. It had its moments, but overall it felt like it was missing something, which was most likely time. Like every other match, time is something we definitely need to work on, because this match was just like the opening match and it clocked in at 7 minutes. 7 minutes for a women's world title match. Absolutely disgraceful. The finish in at the end of the match, the finish leaned heavily on outside interference, as Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez from the Judgment Day came out to assist Liv Morgan. The involvement tipped the balance and allowed Liv Morgan to secure the victory, crowning a new women's world champion. While it was a big moment for Liv Morgan, the way it was achieved left the match feeling somewhat overshadowed by the time, because of course I felt like they were kind of under pressure to fit everything in 7 minutes, like every other match probably did feel like. And the matches were so short that we were just getting kind of commercials, ad breaks, sponsors. Like Hulk Hogan, of course, rest in peace to him, but he had the most screen time out of all the superstars. Every single post match we saw him in a commercial or ad break, whatever you want to call it, because there's new documentaries coming out, which I will be watching. But this just, his sponsors, or whatever you want to call them, ad breaks, commercials, it tore me off, and now I just don't want to watch this documentary, because I saw Hulk Hogan so many times throughout the entirety of WrestleMania Night 1 and 2, and even before WrestleMania they were advertising this. So Hulk Hogan, he appeared on my screen so many times and he took up a lot of screen time. He had more screen time than probably every single match at WrestleMania. So I don't know. I'm just mad that this match is 7 minutes, but I don't know. Some good news to talk about after this match. But yeah, congrats to Liv Morgan on becoming the new world champion. Speaking of congratulations, we have someone else to congratulate. So the 17-time WWE Champion John Cena entered the ring to announce the night one attendance of WrestleMania 42, which was 50,816, which initially felt like a WrestleMania 42, or sorry, WrestleMania in general, routine, a segment meant to give the crowd a breather. Of course, we all thought we were going to move on from that, but the tone quickly shifted when Bianca Belair, yes, Bianca Belair, made a surprise return. Her presence immediately energized the crowd, and she delivered her trademark confidence, reminding everyone of her EST persona and her connection to WrestleMania. Because, of course, you can't spell WrestleMania without EST. So, of course, I was so hyped. I was going crazy. Probably the biggest pop of WrestleMania for me, in my opinion, because of course the night two had a match, which was the night after this, of course, Jade Cargill defending against Rhea Ripley, and I made a prediction in my predictions video. We'll talk about this more in the next video of my night two review, but I made a prediction that she was going to return during the Jade Cargill match, and that did not happen, obviously, because she couldn't come back to wrestling, because as you can see in the photo right there. But I was a bit mad when I first, like a few minutes into her entrance, because it was like, why are you letting her return now? Why is she returning now? Why is she not returning tomorrow during the Cargill match? This doesn't make sense. But of course, that frown turned the other way a couple of minutes later, because of course I did hear her music. I went insane and I was so happy to see her. But then she I don't think I've ever heard that line before. But then she turned the moment into something deeply personal and memorable, because Bianca Belair revealed that she is pregnant, sharing the news that she and Montez Ford are expecting a child. The crowd erupted in celebration as the moment became one of the genuine emotion moments of the night rather than spectacle. John Cena embraced her in the ring, closing the segment as one of the most heartfelt highlights of the entire weekend. So, of course, huge congratulations to Bianca Belair. Now, of course, I did mention the attendance was 50,816, but now it's 50,817 because we've got a little baby on the way. So, huge congratulations to Bianca Belair. So, now we won't even see Bianca for maybe another even year. So, obviously, it's good news. At least she's not injured. Of course, her finger is probably still sore, but I'm not mad because she is not in the WWE because of an injury. I'm happy now because she's pregnant. So yeah, huge congratulations to her. And of course, a couple of months ago we found out Naomi was pregnant. So at WrestleMania, like 55, we're going to see Bianca Belair's baby versus Naomi's baby. So that'll be something interesting. And mark my words, oh, I feel like we're going to get something like that in the future. But enough waffling about Bianca Belair's baby dream matches. The baby's not even out of the womb yet. But okay, enough talking. Congratulations to Bianca and Montez Ford. So, main event time, which saw my favorite WWE wrestler, Pat McAfee, and Jelly Roll get involved. They are my goats, my legends. So the main event saw Cody Rhodes defend his WWE Championship against Randy Orton in a highly anticipated clash, but yet a lot of people found it boring going into WrestleMania and disappointing. Of course, we all know why. Before the match could even properly start, chaos unfolded. As the GOAT of professional wrestling, he should have been a 20-time WWE champion. Pat McAfee was taken out by the legend Jelly Roll, who put him through the announce table in kind of, yeah, I guess a shocking moment. But thankfully, they were gone. Once the match begun, it delivered as a strong dramatic presence and performance, especially in the closing moments. After the referee was knocked down, guess who returned? The GOAT, biggest return in WrestleMania history. Pat McAfee returned and attempted to cost Cody Rhodes, but his slow count only reached 2 because he kind of acted like a special guest referee. Don't even know why, but yeah, he only got a 2 count, which was very stupid from him as well. So that frustrated Randy Orton. So then Randy Orton responded by hitting him with a RKO, turning his anger into a costly distraction. Cody Rhodes then capitalized on the situation to retain his WWE Championship, but the story didn't end there. After the match, Randy Orton snapped and brutally attacked Cody Rhodes, finishing it with a devastating punt kick to close the night in one shocking and controversial. No, first of all, I don't know why Pat McAfee came back out. It was so stupid. We were all happy when he first got taken out by Jelly Roll, but why would you have him come back? Absolutely stupid. The match clocked in at 22 minutes. Of course, the longest match of night one. Of course, we hoped that night two would have been longer. A couple of matches were great for night two, and a couple of matches were longer. We'll talk about that in our next video, though. But yeah, of course, I didn't like this match. Of course, it was good. A couple of good moments. In a way, it was unpredictable. It was unpredictable for me because I predicted Randy Orton to win this. But then again, it was one of those matches where it was like, I actually don't care who wins. Not because I don't care about the match, but because of I'd be happy like to see whoever wins. Like that meme, like, oh, as long as both teams have fun. I was literally basically like that. So yeah, chaotic finish. Cody retains and Randy Orton attacks him post match. And by the way, Cody looked so banged up. His eye, did you see that on the post show? It looked devastating. But yeah, that's all for this match. Cody Rhodes retains his WWE Championship and then decides to walk up the WrestleMania ramp after the match because he got punted in the head. I don't know. This match, in my opinion, was all over the place. I'm just gonna move on from the main event because I didn't like the main event personally. Of course, the match itself was okay, but even the build towards the match was horrible. So let's just skip to the end of the video. So my night two official ratings, and before I do that, I want to go through my predictions video because in my last video I done my night one predictions video, or no, 2 videos ago, whatever it was. I did do a predictions video for night one, and let's see what predictions I got right. So I predicted Bayley and Lyra Valkyria to become the new women's tag team champions. That did not happen because PAIGE and Brie Bella won the titles. I predicted Becky Lynch to retain, or no, to become a new champion. Do you see what I mean? I'm all over the place because I'm really, really tired after making all these WrestleMania videos, so I'm just going to take a little break for a couple of days. But yeah, Becky Lynch become the new IC champion. Congrats to her. Jacob Fatu defeated Drew McIntyre in that unsanctioned match. Good prediction. Liv Morgan became the new Women's World Champion. I did predict that. I did predict Gunther to win. That did happen. And I did predict the Usos and LA Knight to win. So yes, I did get that prediction wrong. And of course, we talked about the Randy Orton and Cody match. I got that prediction wrong. I predicted Randy to win and become the new champion. But that also means Pat McAfee is gone from the WWE forever, as he promised. Hopefully that, does become true. He said if Randy doesn't win, he'll walk away from the WWE forever. So thank God that Randy didn't win because I don't know, Pat McAfee, the road to WrestleMania, I just wasn't hyped up with him at all because it really shouldn't have happened. I did not want him a single bit. But look, who cares? He could have just been a commentator and that would have been fine in my opinion. I liked him as a commentator, but Pat McAfee's gone now. Thank you for being here while you were. So I posted this on my social media, on my X. There you can see my username on the right side of the screen and of course in the post there. And I do this after every PLE. So if you want to be a part of it, please go follow me on X, of course, the tribal WRX. So I said, what do you guys rate WrestleMania Saturday? Of course, you had the option 0 to 3, 4 to 6, 7 to 9, and of course 10 out of 10. And 0 to 3. 54% of you guys, the majority of you guys said 0 to 3 out of 10. So it could have been a 0 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10, or 3 out of 10, which basically means it was horrible. That is literally the worst rating I have up there. So disappointing, of course. Then 38% of you guys said 4 to 6 out of 10. And then 7 to 9, 8% of you guys said 7 to 9 out of 10. And 0% of you guys said 10 out of 10. And I agree with that. This was definitely not a 10 out of 10 show. But 0 to 3 out of 10 is actually quite insane. Of course, I didn't think it was that bad. I rated it a 7.5. Whoa, I'm stuttering so bad. I'm going to literally end this entire YouTube channel because I'm still stuttering. I don't know what I'm doing. But yeah, you see what I mean. 7.5 out of 10 is what I rated the show. My match of the night goes to Seth Rollins versus Gunther, clocking in a great match at 15 minutes with the return of Braun Breaker, which I did successfully predict as well in my predictions video. So that's all I got for you guys in today's video. Still quite shocked about 0 to 3 and 54% of you guys, the majority of you guys saying that. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Quite tired. I'm going to rest for a bit. Maybe film my Night 2 review tomorrow. And it was a good show. Of course, we'll talk about that more in tomorrow's video or whenever it comes out. So see you in the next one. And until then, remember to always, always stay tribal.